Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Divine Cupid podcast. This podcast episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be doing my skincare routine for you guys while going over a list of things that I'm trying to relearn about myself for myself. I feel like I've realized how critical I am over myself, and that's something that I wanted to change. I think we as a society can be very critical over ourselves as a generation, as a collective. Speaking for myself, I'm silently judging myself every day, all the time, for a sentence that I said or a comment that I may have made. My podcast is my most primal example. I feel like every time I upload something, it's never good enough and I need to redo it. And I'm always trying to perform to a super high standard. To live a life that I feel like is so performative is to live a life that is no longer authentic. I think when we try to show up as super entertaining and likable versions of ourselves, we kind of shy away from the parts of ourselves that may not be so likable. I think it's important to embrace both the good and the bad versions of ourselves and parts of ourselves because it's what makes us who we are. I think being critical over the fact that, you may do things that are out of the ordinary or do things that are very indifferent to another person makes you lose your uniqueness and your individuality. I hate a world where everybody looks the same in my mind, and I hate feeling like I need to be the same as everybody else in my mind. I've been trying to be more of a friend to myself and show myself more kindness and grace like I do the people in my life. But I'm trying to redirect that energy towards also myself and giving that to myself in my own life. It's easy to be forgiving of others and it's easy to try to bury the hatchet because we want so badly to have relationships and build relationships. I hate the idea and the concept that as a society that being alone and a loner is good. As human beings and as individuals, we are relational people and we desire relationships and companionships and friendships. And I think because we are relational beings, it allows us to be a little more forgiving and kinder to the people in our lives who may not value us in the same ways that we value them. But the crazier part to me is that we do not value ourselves the same way as we value other people. I've been very rough with myself these past couple of weeks, and I feel like I've definitely recognized that. I've been very stressed because I have a tendency to live so far in the future that I'm never present and focused on what's happening to me today. I look at my circumstances and my situations, and I think sometimes I'm overcome with a bunch of greed for what I want to be in my life pretty soon. I want this, I want that, I want to grow, I want to move, I want to have more money. I'm not thinking about what I have today. I'm thinking of what I want in my future. To not be present in today allows you to miss so many good things that are currently happening right in front of you by focusing so far on the future. I feel like there's no middle ground with me because it's either I'm so far deep in my ass about the past or I'm deep up in the future. There's no middle ground. It's so weird. It's never like, let's focus on today. I've started to make my motto, let's take things one day at a time, because I think that's something good for a rebranding of myself. It allows me to stay calm and it allows me to breathe and it allows me to feel okay because I've been super overwhelmed and I've been super stressed out. And I think that's kind of heightened my anxiety in a lot of things. For a while, I don't talk about it because I hate speaking negativity into the world, but I've been an anxious person for a couple months. I can't not think of the worst and assume the worst. And I think my favorite SZA lyric of all time is I'm always anticipating the worst because I feel like that resonates with me. I can't do something good without expecting something bad. And that is a self sabotage to our own lives and the enjoyment of what could be. We'll never be fulfilled because we're always focusing on what more we want or what bad can happen because of the good we receive. I've always talked about on this podcast how evil self sabotage is because as people, we've conditioned ourselves to believe that when our week and our month is going good, our world is supposed to become crashing down later. that robs us of so much enjoyment, satisfaction, and peace of mind in our lives. And I think that's terrible. That's like awful. And I feel like a horrible experience to kind of go through, to not be able to live a life of peace because you feel like something bad is going to happen to you emotionally, physically, relationally. Like, to think like that is, it's damaging. I've been trying to speak more life into the world and speak more positively into my circumstances and my situation. And negative talk has been rebuked in my life, like completely. And I kind of applaud that because a couple years ago, the only thing that could come out of my mouth was negativity. I think when you speak things into the world, it definitely God hears you and it manifests and it comes to life, you know? You expect your life to be bad, I promise you, because what you've spoken into the world is what you are expecting. Your mindset is now fixated on all the bad things that are supposed to come, that you're not looking at the good things that have already came. When you stop because you no longer know how to smell the flowers, your world grows dull and it feels like nothing but mud and tar that's all around you, like you're stuck. And I saw a quote that says, "You're not stuck, you just stopped moving." And I think that is the most powerful thing that somebody could say to another person. I feel like in your life, you have to move mountains, not because you feel like you need to, and not because you want somebody else to, but you have to move the mountains because you want to. I always say if you want change in your life, you have to be the catalyst and the person to spark the change in yourself. You know, I think our thoughts are definitely the first thing, and our actions and execution are the second. So many times do I say and tell myself, oh my gosh, like I want to go do this, or I want to start this and I want to achieve this, but I'll do it tomorrow because I'm going to do it later. You have the power to change today. You have the power to be great today. Why are you waiting till tomorrow to be great? Why is greatness such a procrastinating festivity for us? You know, so many bright ideas, so many potential careers, so many amazing and blissful activities we could partake in if only we didn't push our desires and our goals to the side and make it less than. I feel like some things that I'm trying to teach myself is how to be more of a priority to myself. I make work a priority. I make school a priority. I make the little things in my life a priority, but not me, myself. Sitting here doing my skincare routine is me trying to make the effort to make myself more of a priority. When I was 12, I had the worst acne of my life, and I went on a little binge with my mom on buying skincare products all the time. We went to Walmart. We'd always be in the beauty section, and I'd always get to pick out skincare routines or skincare products to establish a skincare routine. And that became my thing. That became sitting in my bathroom, trying new products, talking to my mom about it and how it's working on my skin. It felt relaxing. It felt therapeutic. It felt good for me. And something that feels good, that didn't feel like a chore, brought me peace and it allowed me to relax. My things used to be journaling, building Legos, things that I felt like I could actually de stress with. And I think we kind of underestimate the value of de-stressors because anything that allows us to step away from doom scrolling and being so invested in the lives and the focus on other people and actually ground ourselves in our own interests, I think builds character and it builds quality time with yourself. I feel like that's so important to learn to spend quality time with yourself. It's hard because I know that in today's time, we're so used to being around people, especially for a year of our lives. We were isolated for so long that who doesn't want to be circulated with a relationship and companionship? But when the companionship becomes distractions to actually facing the reality of the fact that we need to kind of put more of our energy into ourselves, because leaving these hangouts and these friend groups and feeling this restless feeling in our bodies every night, you can only tolerate it for so long. I used to be the exact same way, to where I was putting a lot of my energy into distractions and thought they were fulfilling. I realized that the only thing that could bring me real joy and peace was the energy that I put into myself. And I won't sit here and act like putting energy towards yourself is the easiest thing, because sometimes I get bored, and sometimes when you kind of feel like you spent so much time with yourself, you're like, I'm kind of over this. Like, I don't know. I need to be doing more. I don't know what else is there for me to do. But that's like the point of rediscovery. That's the point of learning. I think the more time you spend with yourself, you never get bored. Like, you never get bored when you're in a mind of learning and discovering more about yourself, your hobbies, your interests, your strengths, your weaknesses. That's what I learned about myself. I've been trying to read, and I say this in theory because I haven't actually picked up a book, but I've been wanting to read more. And I literally just thought about this like 10 minutes ago. And I said, like, I'm going to start reading more and understanding more fundamental and positive things about the human psyche and about the way that we think and perceive things. I love self-help books. I always say that. And I think to feel more grounded in what I want to kind of base my life upon, I need to do more reading and the things that I know can help me build a firm foundation in those things and my character. I feel like the point of this episode was to remind you on how to stay grounded in yourself, because you will have to get to a point in your life where you need to kind of reteach yourself a lot of the things and the lessons that you've lost. I'm so good at a lot of the things that I used to say. The gym used to be my best friend. I haven't been there in so long. Reading used to be my best hobby. I have so many books I haven't touched. Skincare was something I was so consistent with. I do a quick little wash and a quick little routine, and I go on about my day. Being able to sit down, understand and analyze what you are doing and how to push and pull more energy in towards yourself, I think is a great start. It's a great start in how to move and how to motivate yourself into doing more. It's a great start to not feeling overwhelmed and to take things one step at a time. For someone who gets stressed and overwhelmed and overstimulated so quick and fast, I think it's important to gradually go into everything, to move slowly with the things that you want to do, to be patient with yourself in the places that you want to go. I have this thought in my mind that I'm obsessed with immediate gratification, because I am. I want to see results immediately. I want to see my progress in 3 days, and I want to get to my goals that I have immediately set out. I feel like people talk more about short term goals than we do long term goals, and the goals that are supposed to be long term somehow end up being short term. I think our hyperfixation on social media and doom scrolling has kind of implemented a negative outlook on ourselves, because we are in a constant state of comparison, whether we realize it or not. And I think a lot of the times we don't understand how comparison really is the thief of joy. You can't really enjoy your life when you're comparing it to other people. You can't really be happy for other people when you feel a lack of satisfaction in yourself. And this all ties back into pouring energy in towards yourself. Because, like I previously said, the way that you feel, treat, act, and are towards yourself, it affects and it impacts the relationships that you build and develop with other people. If you want to see successful relationships thrive, you have to be able to put all of that energy that you want to put into other people into yourself, because that's where it all begins. Everything in your life will always start with you. And I think sometimes, like, we want someone to kind of start the process for us, or we want somebody to push us forward for us. Unrealistic completely. And I'm saying these to say, because these are so many things that I really need to realize within myself. Like, it's hard, it's not easy, and it is a challenge, but it's doable and it's possible. If you want to start changing and you want to start moving mountains in your own life, you need to do that today. You need to move today, and you need to give yourself grace and be graceful with yourself. I am not graceful with myself. I'm trying to be though. I really am. I'm trying to move more gracefully. I'm trying to be more merciful towards myself because there's only one of you. And if you beat yourself down before, I don't know, I don't want to say before anybody else can, but if you beat yourself down, it'll only be other people. It'll only be easier for other people to continue to kick you while you're down. So I feel like through your time of isolation, which I won't even say you need to completely isolate yourself, but through your time of rediscovery and self discovery, definitely grow and learn how to be there and show up for yourself in the spaces where nobody else will. And in the times where you don't feel like showing up for yourself, we need to continuously learn how to fake it till we can make it. Because I always say, like, there will really genuinely be times where you wake up not feeling like yourself. You wake up not feeling good about the day. I'm a person who wakes up sometimes with the heaviest heart. And I think we really have to learn how to not let a bad morning be a bad day, how to not let a bad day be a bad week, and how to not let a bad week be a bad month. We need to learn to stop making little things bigger than what they actually need to be. I think that is big. There's a lack of control in our lives, and we will never have the control that we desire and we set out to have. But you can control yourself. You may not be able to control your circumstances, but you can definitely control yourself. It's doable. Growth takes time. This process takes time. I'm learning more lessons about myself every single day. The things that I need to be doing more with myself, I'm learning how to do it one step at a time, to be patient and to not expect fast results in a slow environment, because to rush your growth, to rush your elevation, and to rush your success is to only throw you off later down the line and later in the process. You are important, and we need to start treating ourselves with the importance that we have. We are such high value individuals, and we can be so much more than we ever thought if we just pour more into ourselves. Pour more love, pour more energy, pour more kindness. And yeah, I don't know. I really hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. I love you all so much, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.